I've been waiting for you, Phillip.
Marcia reclined in a black leather chair, one leg crossed over the other. She wore a blue skirt and a blouse, her lips done up in a perfect seductive red, her hair hanging down over her bare shoulders in perfect curls.
It's so wonderful to see you outside of the office.
Mind if I buy you a drink?
I'd love that.
Just coffee, or you want something special?
I don't know. Surprise me.
You say so. I stood up and I headed to the cash register. But before I got there, something came over me. And I looked around the room. And I caught sight of that doctor from the field hospital, Dr. Whitebaum. She had on a cartoonish fake mustache and glasses. She was smiling deviously at me, taking notes. Someone in the seat next to her whispered over her shoulder. No, they were taking notes, too. They were all taking notes. Dr. Whitebaum, the cashier, Marcia. What do you people want from me? Good evening. What's that? Missing? Gosh, well, I guess I can, I can head in. You called Grace yet? Yeah, I can do that. See you in a jiffy, Chief.
The voice that is Timmy Vilgiate presents Rivers of the Mind Season 2.5 Episode 5. Starring Michelle Fuller as Grace, as Phillip, as Timmy Vilgiate, as Dominick Vilgiate, as Jacob, as CJ Hackett, as Ryan. You're playing yourself. Why are you playing yourself?
Hello?
Good evening, Grace. Hope I didn't wake you up.
No, I'm on my porch right now. Why?
Chief just called, says he wants us to head into the station. Says one of the people they had in custody after the sinkhole broke out. Meagan Cortez.
Oh boy. I hate to ask this of you, Phil. Can you pick me up by any chance? I'm a little drunk at the moment.
Yeah, I can come and get you. Sure you don't want me to tell the chief you can't come in?
No, I need to get out. I can't stay here.
Everything all right with you and your husband?
No, everything's fine. It's just we all died. No one remembers. No one. I'm going out of my mind. Come take me away. Bye.
You got your... She hung up. I frantically tore her off my pajamas and I got my uniform on, double-checking myself in the mirror to make sure everything looked all right. As I charged down the stairs, I saw someone in the driveway. My son. He staggered up onto the porch. Looked high.
Oh, hey, Dad. Didn't think I'd see you here.
Yeah, I bet you didn't. I thought you were going to be home by 10.
Sorry about that. I lost track of time.
It's 3 in the morning.
Jeez. No wonder I'm so exhausted.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, but lucky it's the weekend.
Say, where are you heading?
Oh, some girl they took into custody broke out, I guess. Gotta head in. No one knows where she is.
Broke out? Broke out. Meagan Cortez?
How'd you know that?
Oh, I just... lucky guess, you know. Who's Meagan Cortez? You said she broke out?
Oh, guess I did. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not super sure what's going on. I gotta go pick up Grace.
Oh my god. John, you were supposed to watch her. Sorry, Dad, Phillip, forget I was ever here.
I hurried down the stairs, out into my car, shifting it into reverse and speeding off to Grace's house.
Have you tried Coors Light in the last few hours, Phillip?
Oh boy, Grace, you are a mess.
You know what's a mess? The mess is that you've called me 5 times, and every time you think it's the first time you called me. I'm losing my mind.
You're drunk, Grace.
No, you're drunk. Fuck off. Doesn't even matter.
You don't have to come. I can tell the chief you're not doing well, but I need to get to the station.
No, I'm fine. I'm a very civil drunk. I'm very focused. I'm very good drunk. I'm a very good drunk. Civil. Focus. Let's go.
Grace,
I'm going, Phillip. Everything keeps repeating, and I think I'm traveling through time. Do you remember what Coors Light tasted like 8 hours ago?
You put that beer back where you found it, and... Okay. Just get in the car, and you let me do the talking, okay? If the chief sees how drunk you are, we're both gonna get our asses handed to us.
He died.
What the hell are you talking about?
He took you to the forest, and they burned you, and now no one remembers. No one remembers. No one remembers. But I remember.
Look, Grace, we need to talk about this when you're in a better state of mind.
Can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you try to feel really brave?
What do you mean?
Oh my god. It happened again.
Sure. Maybe. I'll try to act a little sober while I'm at it, too. We got to the station and I made up an excuse for Grace. Truth be told, even if I knew it was against those goddamn policies for her to be drunk like that on the job, I needed someone with me. Some fella in a military beret. He who was studying me looked a little scared himself, and I wasn't sure how much of it was my powers or how much he really knew about whatever they'd done to that girl. How much of it was just plain guilt. They told me about her. Her name was Meagan Cortez. She was about 5 feet 8 inches tall, only about 155 pounds. She was about 5 feet 8 inches tall, only about 153 pounds. She was only about 5 feet 8 inches tall, only about 151 pounds, with dark black hair, hazel eyes, and very pale skin. Bruises of unknown origin, they said. Medical diagnoses of Asperger's, supposedly, so they warned me that she might be exhibiting some unusual behavior. Also told me about her brother, named Jacob. 6'4", 210 pounds, told me he might be wearing a uniform for McDonald's or for the Kroger grocery store. Also dark hair, slightly darker skin, and greenish eyes. He drove a red truck, they told me. Texas plates. BB38199. I headed back to the car, where Grace was clutching her temple in pain.
Can I see your notes?
Sure.
Huh. Wonder why that changed.
What do you mean?
She lost 2 pounds every time Colonel Imes told you who to look for. I know I'm drunk, but I'm not crazy. I don't know why it's happening. No one else remembers.
Well, we're just gonna keep a lookout, alright? If we can find this girl before the government does, maybe we can get some answers about what's going on with her. You got any ideas?
Huh. You think she had a ride or left on foot?
I'm not sure.
Well, let's head towards Blackberry Creek. See if we see anything.
The two of us drove down the highway towards the edge of town, the road illuminated by the golden yellow glare of the streetlights and our own two dim headlights. The tops of trees shivered in a faint, ephemeral breeze.
Hey, did you see that car?
BB8199. That's Jacob. Boy, is he driving fast. I sped up to try and match his speed. His truck looks empty.
Alright, so she's not with him.
Hey, Chief. We just saw Jacob's car on the 290 heading out of town, but the car looked empty. Over.
Thanks for letting me know. You folks stay on him. Let us know if he gets in contact with his sister.
I let Jacob pass us, and I would have written him a ticket, but I knew what he must have been going through with his sister in the custody of the government. Best to let him be. He was a couple miles ahead of us. His car bobbed and weaved over the undulating hills, but was always just barely visible by its headlights. He pulled into a gas station.
Let's see if we can find somewhere to park where we can see what happens.
How about that self-storage place across the street?
Sounds good.
I fit the car into a spot behind the tall wooden sign, where we could see up to the cigarette counter just barely. Grace, that's her.
Oh my god. She's... Wait a second, don't tell the chief yet.
Good idea. Alright. Looks like her and Jacob are talking. She looks a little disoriented. Very disoriented. He's leading her out to the car. They're talking. And just got out of the car. Let me roll down the window, see if I can hear.
Hear anything?
Shh. Not quite. Something about... Okay, he thinks she's under the influence of something. He's calling a friend to help out. Okay, now he's back in the car. They're talking again.
Seems a little strange. You think they drugged her?
I don't know. Would explain things, poor girl. They pulled out of the gas station and sped down the road.
Should we tell the chief?
Well, it's gonna be pretty damn suspect if we say we seen Jacob without his sister and then they find them together. Let's
Any luck?
speak of the devil.
We'll answer him.
Yeah, Chief, he stopped at the gas station across the street from the Tucker self-storage. Didn't see Meagan. Did look like he got a phone call of some kind.
Oh, well, she's probably trying to reach out to him. Keep following him, but don't tip him off or anything.
You heard him. Guess we're gonna keep following Jacob. I turned off the lights, letting the police car blend into the darkness.
What are you gonna say when your version of the story doesn't match up?
Well, I don't know. Best case scenario, I guess, is no one looks into it all that much. Worst case scenario, I guess I dip into the old savings account. I seek asylum in Ecuador.
Hold on, they stopped.
Alright. Hey, here we go. What are they doing?
Talking, looks like.
Can't see into the car. From the shadow, he looks like someone's freaking him out. He just heaved over. Megan's got her hand on his shoulder. She's trying to calm him down. Talking again and... Alright, they're off.
And the chase continues. Keep your distance.
Why?
I don't know how to explain it, just keep your distance.
You having another one of those weird time things?
I did. It's really hard to explain. Meagan can, I don't know what she can do. It's just, we don't want to get too close. Sorry, I know it sounds like I'm going crazy. It keeps getting worse. I don't know why this is happening.
Maybe that Agent Carter fella slipped you something.
I don't know about that. Maybe you're right. Okay. We're turning into Pioneer Hills. Make sure you stop at the gate. God damn it, I'm drunk and I'm doing half the navigation.
I'm looking at the same road as you, Grace. You just ain't got no filter about it, is all. As Meagan and Jacob wound up the dusty, lightless dirt roads into the neighborhood, Grace and I braked to a halt at the gate. The attendant saw our car and he snickered.
I had a feeling something was off. Was some kind of drug bust?
No, sir, no drugs involved. Just following up on a missing persons report.
Right, well, you know what? Thank you for all you folks do. We got terrorists in the city now. Crime. Drugs.
Yeah, we sure do. Thank you, sir.
I tell you what it is. It's all these goddamn Californians moving out here, trying to change our way of life.
Right. Well, we've got...
And then, of course, the aliens.
The aliens?
Illegal aliens. You know what I'm talking about. Coming across the southern border, bringing their crime, their drugs, their diseases, spicy food, rap music, technological change rendering previously important sectors of the economy obsolete. You know what I'm talking about?
Seems like... Yeah, you sure sound like you got a lot to talk about, sir, but, we've really gotta...
Oh, of course, I'm sorry. I just got a little carried away. Of course, you need to go. Just... You let me know. You let me know if I can do anything.
We will definitely let you know if you can do anything, sir. We will let you know. Now, you know where that red pickup truck was headed?
Oh, the red pickup truck. Yeah, the red pickup truck. Think they went right. Not sure. But like I said, let one know if I can do anything to help. I'm the eyes and ears of this. And they drove off. Right. Well, I think I bought her about 5 minutes. I stepped out from the attendant's body. A faint smile came to his face as he remembered a visit to Port Aransas that he took as a child, playing on the beach with his brother and sister. He didn't see me as I slipped out from his booth, back into the forest. I followed the police car close behind. Grace's migraines made this more challenging than I'd expected. Since I tried to do the least amount of harm and the most amount of good, every decision I made had to be weighed against the potential to do more harm to vulnerable people like her. In the old days, I had not been aware of such auxiliary effects of my powers, since I had been so fixated on achieving godhood. Then, later, fixated on neutralizing my own worst instincts. Only recently had I turned my attention to helping improve the state of this world, and soon it would come to a close. The police car stopped when it saw Jacob's car parked in front of a house. Phillip and Grace watched intently, with hawk-like focus, minds pervaded by uncertainty. Grace saw me but did not know how to explain me. She had seen me since she started drinking, a white sphere of indeterminate size and distance hovering just in front of her face. Should they call the chief? Or should they continue to risk their lives to protect this fugitive from a government which, in their eyes, seemed rife with an arcane malevolence? Ethically, it placed him in a conundrum. Predictably, the smell of marijuana, which wafted through the trees, sent Phillip over the edge. No longer was Meagan innocently trying to escape the clutches of the state. She just snuck out to get high. Phillip felt forlorn as this occurred to him, that all of this risk might have actually been for nothing. He picked up the radio, heart racing enough to cause even the trees outside of the car to fill with dread.
Chief, found her. Met up with Jacob at a house out in Pioneer Hills. Strong smell of marijuana coming through the air. Looks like they're just coloring inside or something. Some kind of drug party, I'd say.
Ha! Well, Colonel's gonna flip when he hears that. They just about got the tracking figured out on that ID badge, but something's been interfering with the signal.
Something was interfering with the signal? Say it isn't so.
You got an address?
571 Lewis H. Wolfenstein Place.
Alright. Why don't you take him in? What? You want to say something?
Yes. Officers, I have a somewhat counterintuitive favor to ask of you. Could you please make sure to stay out of sight and take notes on their activity? While this may seem like a youthful late-night folly, it could be in fact an attempt by the subject to covertly funnel information about this base's activities. Keep an eye out for any cash transactions, any payments, see if you can see anything through the windows.
Roger that, Agent Carter.
No, thank you.
I guess we had the right idea after all.
Suppose we did. How are you feeling?
My migraine's getting worse. I keep seeing things.
Did the alcohol help?
Helped me feel sick to my stomach. I shouldn't have drank so much.
Well, Grace, you're only human. It's been a long day.
That's for sure. I didn't know how to tell him how many times we'd had this conversation, or how many times the world had ended today. How with every single moment I anticipated that rusty and menacing voice coming from behind us in the car, leading us towards an army of ghosts.
We pulled forward to where we could look down the driveway. Down on the floor, Meagan and her brother colored, while some 20-something with shaggy hair and a long beard hunched over a computer looking serious and frantic. But trying to keep an open mind, I start to consider the possibilities. Maybe they weren't coloring. Maybe it was just a way of taking notes. And maybe the fella on the computer, maybe he was doing research on the base after they were telling him about it or something. Or maybe he was trying to help him record the truth. I did see a bong on the table, and it was still giving off faint wisps of smoke. And it was hard to imagine them doing anything too serious in that kind of environment, but pulled forward just a little bit ahead where they wouldn't see us, and where I could see just barely into the house. The fella stood up, he said something and wandered off. Then I started banging on some piano keys. Eventually, he came back and he handed something to Meagan. Couldn't tell what, but she looked really grateful to get it really serious, too. Really solemn. She stood up and she clutched the item in her hands really tight against her solar plexus, like she was afraid of dropping it or being seen with it or something. And her brother and her started to head back towards the car, but then they turned towards the forest. I saw her walking slow, up on her tiptoes, staring up at the sky. Suddenly, in her face, there's this look of absolute wonder. She saw something that none of us could see. Made her brother real nervous. He backed away, and she collapsed to her knees. She shut her eyes and put her hands around her stomach. Clearly not sure if he should look for help. Her brother, Jacob, just paced back and forth. I rolled down the window slightly to see if I could hear them saying anything.
Shit, man. I hope she's okay. Fuck. I hope they didn't do anything to her.
Is she alright, man?
She's...
Okay, let me check her out. I don't mean like literally check her out. I mean she's unconscious and that's... But you know what I mean, man.
Do you know anything about CPR or whatever?
Yeah, actually my older brother had cerebral palsy and so I had to take some first aid classes and shit like that. Let me, Okay, her heart rate's a little weird. Her breathing seems kind of fast. It's probably the nicotine, I guess. Okay, let me try something. Oh, yeah, man, her energy's totally fucked up right now. This must have like a really powerful spirit or something. So what I'd suggest is you just like stand by her side and just try to send her some positive vibes, you know what I mean? Positive vibes are like probably the best prescription I can give her right now. Do you want hot cocoa?
No thanks, but thanks
It's called energy healing. I learned it in Peru. I'm gonna go meditate for your sister, alright? Let me know if she starts to like convulsing or doing anything weird or
Hello,
I don't know.
officer, how are you doing?
Worst comes to worst, we can do some drumming and some chants to try and like realign her spirit, you know?
Right, yeah, good idea.
The hippie fella went inside and he sat cross-legged on his floor. For a little while longer, Meagan sat there until her eyes grew wide and she leapt into the air. She teetered back and forth on her feet a little bit and then vomited all over the ground. Her brother led her back to the car and the two of them sped off.
Hello, officer, how are you doing?
Out of the car. Now. Both of you.
That was
Weird. It's real weird.
What do you think we should? Agent Carter knocked on Phillip's window. He rolled it down.
Did you see anything?
Kids just sat around, smoked weed, and drew some pictures.
Did their friend give them anything?
Looked like a little box of some kind.
Yeah, we found that. Nicotine gum. Not sure why. Anything else?
Nope.
It's very strange. And our satellite tracking system went haywire the moment she breached security. You didn't see anything else?
Gate attendant looked a little strange.
Yeah, I'll interview him, see what he remembers. Maybe stop by and have a chat with their friend.
Seemed like a real quirky fella.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Seemed like he might have been under the influence of some hallucinogenic drugs based on the way he was acting and what we overheard.
Yes, that's a common ploy of certain covert intelligence gathering organizations. They keep their sources in line by getting them addicted to things like marijuana, LSD, heroin. Gives them something to hold over the pawns in the operation.
Well, I hadn't considered that.
It's all very suspect. Anyhow, it's been a long night. You all deserve some rest. I'm going back to my hotel. Perhaps I can buy you folks some drinks later this week.
Sounds good to me.
Sure. Got some plans tomorrow, but that should work.
All right. So long then. Thank you for all of your diligent work.
Hello everyone, and thank you for listening to Rivers of the Mind. My name is Timmy Vilgiate, and I am the writer and producer of Rivers of the Mind. This episode featured the vocal talents of Michelle Pearl as Marcia and Grace, myself, Timmy Vilgiate, as Phillip and Cameron, CJ Hackett as Ryan, and Ryan, Collin Estes as Agent Carter, Jareth Spirio as Colonel Imes, Aaron Mayfield as the Chief, and Dominick Vilgiate as Jacob. If you'd like to support Rivers of the Mind, please consider going on to the Patreon at patreon.com/Timmy Vilgiate. That is spelled Vilgiate. We are officially just above $15 a month, thanks to Cindy Versvivelt, which covers all of our hosting fees. And please, leave a review and tell your friends. Thank you and have a great day.